Hi, Payal.
How are you, dear?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Okay, nice.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good evening.
Mute లో పెట్టు టీచర్ మాట్లాడు
Ma'am,
Yes,
what are we going to learn today, ma'am?
we are going to learn about fractions. Let's wait for some more time, okay? We'll start.
Okay, ma'am.
पूरी नहीं मम्मी नहीं गुड मॉर्निंग
Good evening.
गुड इवनिंग मैम
Good evening.
गुड इवनिंग मैम
Hi, good evening, everybody. Can we have children unmuted for a minute, please? Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
sir.
sir.
Hey, everybody. I hope you are
Good
doing
evening,
good.
Good
sir.
evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening,
Good
sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can I also say my video?
I hope all of you are doing well. Saturday night, everybody fine? Very nice.
Good evening, sir.
Very nice. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. We will start
You
in
having?
3 minutes.
Yes, sir.
How many of you like doing maths? Please raise your hands. Please raise your hands. You can raise hands on Zoom also. Okay. You can raise hands on Zoom also.
Yes.
Very nice.
Anshul,
Very
you
nice.
can see students
Find
raising
out.
hands on Zoom.
Find out how can you raise hand in Zoom. Find out. Find out. You'll find. You'll get it. Very nice. Find out in Zoom. Raise your hand. Wonderful. Yeah, thank you, Amber. Thank you. That's fine, Amber. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay. So we begin with this webinar. Welcome, everybody, to this webinar of fraction, where we are going to learn about how fractions are important, how can we become better in fraction. I would request all the parents to be with their children in the learning journey. And during the webinar, if there is any question you have, kindly mute.
Students, please mute
Please
yourself.
mute yourself. Veer, can you please help here? Okay, so during the webinar, if you have got any question, you see a number below 98792107756. Please send your questions on the WhatsApp or on the SMS at this number. Please request your parents to send any questions they have at this number 98792107756. Okay? Okay. So here we begin. So my name is Anshuman and I work with educational initiatives. With us today we have eminent maths teacher Jayanti Das Gupta ma'am. Jayanti ma'am has been a maths teacher for past 20 years and she has been working with various schools in India and abroad. Jayanti ma'am, welcome to the webinar.
Thank you, Anshuman. Good evening, students and parents. As Anshuman already told, I am a maths teacher. I have been working with EI for last 5 years, children. And in EI, we work with, presently working with EI, and in EI I have interacted with more than 10,000 teachers and students across the world. The aim was to make a larger impact on students' learning. We work with learning and assessment solutions like ASSET, DA, and MindSpark. And also, we have specially designed program for gifted students.
Very interesting, ma'am. Ma'am, why do you think most of the schools like EI, like educational initiatives, like to work with educational initiatives?
EI Anshuman is a 20-year-old edtech organization with experience in assessment and learning solutions. Vision of EI is to create a world where every deep research in pedagogy. We have more than 5 billion students response that helps us to get deeper understanding in the way students learn. Also, what students do not learn. So this ensures that solutions that we deliver to them has an impact. In fact, MindSpark, which is a learning solution, has helped more than 10 lakh students to learn. Also, Anshuman, we have conducted more than 1 crore assessments till date.
Wow, that is an achievement for a company. I understand, ma'am. So, ma'am, I have another question here. Since you are a teacher, I'll ask more questions. And children, please send your questions you have. Parents, please send your questions on that WhatsApp number. Okay. So, ma'am, why did you choose fraction as the topic of today's webinar?
Yeah, this is a very interesting question, Anshuman. Let me explain you with an example. Students here, please look at your screen, okay? 2 divided by 3 that we learn in grade 3 as division becomes 2 by 3 fraction in grade 4. By the time we come to grade 5, 6, and 7, it becomes ratio. And the same ratio 2 by 3 becomes proportion as 0.67. Proportion then changes into percentage. Percentage further changes into profit and loss. And in higher grades, 9th and 10th, it becomes probability. So let us not think, that it's one concept. These all concepts are linked together and it has impact on learning on every grade.
I get that, ma'am. I understand. So, are there any other topics also which are as important as division? Oh, sorry, as fraction?
Division, fraction, in fact, Anshuman, each topic in maths has its own importance in building mathematical concept. However, in teaching terminology, there is something called an enduring understanding concept. In simple terms, it means concepts which are must to learn. There are some concepts like place value, number system, shapes and spaces, data interpretation, fractions, decimals, which start from grade 1 and goes up to grade 10, even up to 12.
That means a student, when learns a concept, that concept helps the student all across the classes, maybe in that class and higher classes also. This is interesting, ma'am. So with this
Yes,
thing, children, let's start today's session on fraction. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah. Before we start, parents, I have little, request from you. One is learning for child becomes more meaningful if you are involved as parents. I would also request that we'll ask some questions during this session. Let students independently answer them. So on the screen, you can see the first question. So we are starting with the concept of fraction. Fraction is part of a whole. So the first, I'll read out the first question, right? Which of this triangle is 1/3 shaded? You can see 3 triangles and the option given. We will wait for 30 seconds for students to answer. Students, please do not put your answer on the chat. There will be a poll coming. Put your answers in the poll so that we can tabulate the answer.
Yes. So the first answer which I see is answer B, which is triangle 1 and triangle 2 both. Okay, so guys, we will have a poll. Please answer your questions on the poll. We are waiting for some seconds. I would request parents not to help your children Children, please answer this question independently on the poll window which you will have. We are going to wait for 30 more seconds. All those who have answered, you can raise your hands so that we can see it. Raise your hands on Zoom. No, find out. Raise your hands on Zoom. You'll get to know. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You may put your hands down. You may put your hands down. Now, parents, it's time for, now let's see, it's time for result. I'll take 15 seconds to tabulate the results. Please give me some seconds. Everybody has answered.
So we see around 5 students who have raised their hands. Others also can raise their hands on Zoom.
Okay, so we have the results out. Let me show you the results. Right answer is answer A. But please look, children, how many of you have answered it incorrectly? Thinking
So
option B.
Anshuman,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, we see almost 43% student choosing option B. Right? Let us understand why students have chosen option. In fact, this question was even asked in Asset and MindSpark, and we almost have similar kind of responses. Not exactly, but similar. So let us understand why students have answered it incorrectly. The crucial part in this question, which this question was checking, is equal parts. And normally, why students make mistake? Because if you see questions in the book, they look like this. Students, do question in fractions look like this from your textbook? Put your hands up or thumbs up. Yeah. So what do you notice? What is the difference between the question that you saw earlier and the questions in the textbook?
So, ma'am, the earlier question here we see that this part is not equal to these two parts.
Exactly.
That is why the answer, which is 2, which says triangle 2, is incorrect.
Exactly. So in fact, the triangle 2 is not a fraction. And when you see in books, right, the questions that are there in books, all questions have equal division. So it leads students to understand that fraction is shaded part by total number of parts. So they don't have to actually look for unequal divisions in the diagram.
Yes. So parents understand the mistake which our children make is that they do not get exposure to the questions which can make them think differently.
Exactly.
Let's go to another question.
So now let us look at another question. Okay, let me just read out this question. Place on the number line the following numbers: 2, 2.5, 3 by 2, 5 by 10. Now, why is this question important? Number line concept is taught to students from grade 2 when they learn skip counting on number line. And this question was asked in grade 5 in a classroom situation. Again, I would request students to take a pencil and a paper and do this question and put the points on the number line. We'll again wait for 30 seconds for students to give response. Once you finish, raise your hands in Zoom, okay?
Please take a pen and paper, draw a number line, and put the numbers on the number line. Yes, please take a copy, please take a pen, draw the line.
So 6 of you finished? Good.
Please attempt it. Please don't sit. Attempt the question. Parents, please don't help. Please attempt the question. Nobody should help. No, please, parents, don't help. Let the children do it. That's very interesting question. Hurry up, children. Hurry up. Don't just sit there. Draw the number line. Start marking it. Yes. You guys can do it. Okay, last 10 seconds, huh? Parents, please don't help. Let
9
children
of them
do it.
have done, Anshuman. They have raised their
Wonderful.
hand.
Wonderful. So, we close this, we move ahead.
Now, when this question was asked in a classroom situation, only 11% of the students could answer it correctly. Now, let us understand why the problem. Let us analyze why the problem, right? Can we see the answers, Anshuman, how students have given? So see, students have placed 3 by 2 after 3. So they think 3 by 2 is between 3 and 4. So 3 by 2 is 3 plus 1 by 2. Similarly, they have placed 5 by 10 after 5. They think 5 by 10 between 5. In curve, children also read it as 5.10, 5.10. So why these misconceptions? Why are students having these misconceptions?
So children,
When
have you also understood that the mistakes that we make, this is a wrong answer, this is not right, this is a wrong answer. So Jayanti ma'am, this 3 by 2 should be here.
yeah, 3 by 2 is 1.5. So it should be between 1 and 2. 5 by 10 is 1 by 2. So it is 0.5. It should be between 0 and 1. Now why? Now let us analyze why the problem. When we start teaching mathematics to children or we start introducing number to students, we start by associating a number with an object. 2 fan, 3 ball, 2 chocolates. So we associate so that children can visualize. Number line exactly uses this, Anshuman. Number line
Right.
uses, number line is used in teaching learning process so that children can visualize. But as grades increase, complexity increases. How will we say 3 by 2 football or 5 by 10 balloons? Children cannot
Understood.
visualize.
Understood.
Then there is a learning gap.
So, I understand, ma'am. Can we revise what we have learned?
Yes, absolutely. So I know most of the students here are of grade 4. They may not have started learning fractions. But when you start answering fractions, these 3 points you need to keep in mind when you start doing it. First, fraction is always referred part of a whole object. And that whole object should be equally divided. That is difference between division and fraction. And the most important concept is you have to visualize where that fraction is, because visualization will help you out in your later grades, in grade 5 and 6, when you work on operations on fractions, when you add fractions or when you subtract fractions or when you multiply fractions. So it will help you to visualize how numbers move on a number line.
Right. So understand, children, this question, please understand, in fraction, when you are writing in fraction, see and check if all the parts are equally divided or not. So if you have answered this as a fraction, it is wrong. This only is a fraction. Option A is correct. And on a number line, don't think fraction as different numbers. They are one number. Okay. Yes.
So let us go a little deeper. When students are there, I think let us go a little deeper and understand what is predecessor to fraction. Before fraction, we learned division. So I want students to do some questions on division. The first question, again, students, be ready with your pencil and paper, right? Do this question. Dash divided by 6 equal to 6. And your options are on the screen. We'll again wait for 30 seconds for you to give the answer. Do not give the answer in your chat box. Use poll to give the answer. And after you give the answer, put your hands up so that we know that you have answered. Use Zoom. Meera, use Zoom. You finished?
Amber, answer that on the chat, on the poll. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Good, 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 good. Very good.
Can we see the collated answers, Anshuman, or will it take some time?
I'll take some time to collate it, ma'am. Please give me a few seconds. Give me 15 more seconds, ma'am. Children are still answering.
Sure, we'll wait for everyone to answer.
Understand, children, this is a very, very basic question. Think about it and answer. Okay, just few more seconds and we are going to answer. And remember, after these questions, there is a quiz at the end. When we are going to finish, we are going to finish with a quiz. And that's a very interesting quiz. It will summarize what you have learned. Okay? Okay. Just one more second. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Yes, now we're there. Oh,
Oh, so most of them think that 1 is the correct answer. 1 divided by 6 is equal to 6. Right? Now let us analyze why. Why students most of you have chosen 1 as the right answer.
that is very, very strange. Children have chosen 1 as the answer. Let's see that.
Yeah. So what happens? Students learn multiplication before division. So in multiplication, 1:6 is 6. So when doing the similar operations, students think multiplication and division operations are same. So 1 divided by 6 is 6.
And to
All students, normally multiplication and division has 2 different topics. There are 2 different topics.
yes,
But multiplication is easier than division, right? So whatever concepts they learn in multiplication, they think the same process is also applied in division. So simply they put 1 divided by 6 is 6.
I get it. Get it. So we clearly see that students get confused between multiplication and division. They think the same rules apply. Yes, I can see some of you smiling. I can see you may have made mistakes. So the actual answer is 36. You divide 36 by 6, you get 6. You do not divide 1 by 6 to get 6. You multiply 1 by 6 to get 6. Okay.
Anshuman, not that students do not know, they know it. But when options are given, no, they get little confused.
Okay.
Let us see another question.
Let's see another question.
Yeah, let us see what this question, 63 divided by 7. Please read the question carefully. 63 divided by 7 is same as. Your options are there. We'll wait for 30 seconds.
So once again, the poll would come. Please answer correctly. Okay. Don't answer on chat. You will get a poll. Read the question. Mark your answer on the poll. I see some faces smiling. They got the answer. Very nice. Very good. Very good. Yes, yes, I see hands being raised. Raise your hands on Zoom. I can't see everybody on the video. Raise your hands on Zoom, children. So understand, parents, please don't help your children. Let them answer and please be there with them. You being there is very important for the children to learn.
Thank you, Prarthana.
Yep, yep. Yes, please answer. Please answer on the poll that you will get. Yeah, don't whisper in your children's ear. I can see some of us. Please. Good work, Janu. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to check if everybody has answered and give the result. Please give me few seconds. It's still going on. Some of the children are answering, ma'am. It may take few more seconds.
Let's wait. Let's wait for everyone to answer, Anshuman.
Okay, so we get the answers. Here we go. Oh my God.
So
Oh my
again,
God.
yeah, students have chosen A, 9 into 7 as an option.
Why would student choose 9 into 7? So let us explain this question. 63 divided by 7 is 9, correct?
Correct.
And 9 is same as 3 into 3.
Yes.
The answer has to be option B, where 63 divided by 7 is 9 and 9 is same as 3 into 3. So why have students chosen, like 39% of the students have chosen A as the option?
Anshuman, because division and multiplication is a process. So they think 63, 7, 9, they have a relationship between them. If two are there, other is missing, they will put that number.
Okay.
Right? That is what has happened. This error actually shows that quite often students focus only on the process and not what is asked. So students do not focus on the concept. Also, there is a problem in the way they comprehend. If it was not as same as, and if you would have given equal to, then most of them would have given it right.
So that means this was the question which was a mixture of division and multiplication both.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. I understand that, ma'am. I get it. So what is the way the students of grade 2 and grade 3 multiplication is always going to be, taught before division? So what do you say, ma'am, is the way where students can avoid or learn better? Understand, listen to this carefully, students.
See, maths is all about practice. And what do I mean by practice? Practice is doing more of questions, but of different types. Normally, what happens in textbook is there is a question given and there are series of options given to them, like add, and there are 4 questions under addition. Subtract, there are 4 questions under subtraction. So this, in pedagogical term, we call it as block practice. So children think once and execute it 10 times. And we call it as practice. But the right way to practice, even research says, is interleave practice. One addition question, one subtraction, one multiplication, one division, then one again in this before answering every question. And then thinks what is that is asked, how do I do it, and then does it. Then the thinking process is done for every question. If children think this way and do it, then it works. In fact, all these questions that you see here, Anshuman, I have picked up from Mindspark. Mindspark teaches in this process. The flow of Mindspark is this, that if children are not able to answer questions in fraction, it will take them back to division and explain them the concept and bring them back to fractions.
So you're saying if children are using Mindspark to learn maths, they would be able to make lesser mistakes after they have learned using Mindspark, because Mindspark will correct their misconception, even if they are from previous grade. Is it?
Absolutely. In fact, parents here, they have used Mindspark. Children here have used Mindspark for some time. So they must have, experienced this in their while they were doing Mindspark. Maths, very typically, Anshuman, has a spiral curriculum, right? So yeah, this is what it is. So it looks funny, but it's also interesting to see how division in grade 3, becomes fraction in grade 4. Then it leads to operations and decimals in grade 5. Percentage, profit and loss in grade 7, right? Irrational and rational numbers in grade 8. Probability and higher concepts in grade 9. So if a child make mistake in rational and irrational numbers in grade 8, it need not be a mistake of grade 8. It can be a mistake from grade 4.
Okay, I understand that. So that means if a child goes back and corrects that mistake of grade 6 or grade 5, child can learn better in grade 8 or any grade, is it?
Absolutely. Child becomes a self-learner. He or she develops her own path of learning and learns.
So parents, please understand, if our children are unable to do few topics in a particular class, there is a possibility that the problem lies in previous grades. And MindSpark, as ma'am told, helps in correcting it. Ma'am, does MindSpark help in correcting this?
Yes, MindSpark. We'll discuss this maybe once we come little later, right?
Okay. Okay.
We'll talk about MindSpark and what it does.
So ma'am, I think I've just got a question. If you could give me 30 seconds, I'll read the question and get back.
Yeah, sure, Anshu.
So parent Mr. Bharat has asked that, okay, so Mr. Bharat has asked a very interesting question. He says that why would a child have misconception when they are being taught face to face by the teacher in class? How is it possible?
So to answer to this question, there are two things, Anshuman, as teachers we face. One is students in a classroom are of different learning levels, and learning levels vary from topic to topic. I cannot standardize. And when a teacher is face-to-face teaching in a classroom, the difference between taught and learned is 30%. That means if I teach 100%, students understand up from 70, anything between 70 to 80%.
Okay.
There is a gap of 20 to 30%. So what we do as teachers, Anshuman, we create worksheets, we create remedials.
So ma'am, are you saying that
to go it and his or her problem?
Ma'am, you are saying that gap will be there. Howsoever good a teacher may teach, the gap remains. There. Oh,
absolutely remains.
So ma'am, if while the teacher is teaching, the gap is 30%, what do you say about present situation when all teaching is happening online?
Yeah, this is for maths teachers, this is a scary situation because when teacher is not face-to-face looking at a child, the teacher is not able to see any reinforcements or able to give any reinforcement to children. And children are passive learners here. I'll use that word passive learners and explain it later maybe. Then the gap, a research shows, I wanted to show this research to parents also and to students as well. This research was done with 5 million students, wherein the school stopped in first week of March. So what would be the learning gap between first week of March to June? So that was calculated, and it was told that it will be okay. You can see the greater dotted line on the screen. But the situation now is the school will not open even after June. The school is again 4 months. As per this research, it says that learning gains are only 15%. That means learning loss is 50%. And in mathematics, Anshuman, if learning loss is 50%, that means we are behind 1 full year.
So that means you are saying if the children have these gaps, when the schools reopen after this situation, they would have reached almost to the last year or the class which they have cleared, that learning level.
Yeah. So wherever they have started, they'll be the same learning level.
This is very scary. So parents and children, please understand, if the gaps remain and we don't work hard and we don't work on mathematics during this time, the gaps would remain and we may reach at the level which is lower than the previous class, equal to previous class. We'll have to work double. So every child, please make sure that you are doing a lot of mathematics during this time. Else, we'll lose a lot. So ma'am, I have one doubt here. With online being the only mode where children can learn, the only way children can learn right now is online. What should be the best solution? Because there are many things going around who are online related to online education. So what do you
Right,
think should be
Anand.
the right thing?
We see so many solutions which are there now available on intranet, right? But most of them are passive learning. Why I say passive learning? It is one-way learning. Child only receives some set of instructions or listens to a video where there are very less involvement or no involvement. I'm not saying that students will not learn. There are few students who will learn, but most of them will not learn. When I look at a video or see a pre-recorded session, I may think I have learned, but maths being a subject where we need to solve, when I sit to solve question and I'm not able to do, it creates stress for children. So
So
the only solution for this is active learning.
you're saying by watching a video is a kind of passive learning, which because video is same for every child, and every child
Absolutely
might learn very differently.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, video can be a Disney character also. I may feel good about it at that point of time. That okay, Mickey Mouse is coming and teaching me. But when the learning is happening or not, how will we measure that?
This is a serious concern, ma'am. So what do you suggest?
I think learning has to be active. So let me explain what is active learning a little bit. When students are engaged and they experience involvement, they are able to respond, they are able to get back feedback, instantaneous feedback. There is a dialogue between the learner and what is learned. Medium can be anything. Medium can be face-to-face or an online. Then I think learning happens meaningfully among children. And a tool which helps students to become a self-regulated learner. This is a time when children have to take charge of their own learning. They have to become self-regulated learner. They have to set their own pace. Whether and when the sessions are available online, they can learn anytime. They can learn at their own whenever it is comfortable to them, whenever it is convenient to them. And also, adaptive is a word, adaptive and personalized, which I want to talk about. And in this case, I want to get into MindSpark because MindSpark adapts to the learning level of the child, not only for a topic, but for every concept. It takes a child to a lower level if the child requires remediation and scaffolding, remediates and brings him back or her back to the same level. And
Okay.
but it does not stop here, right? If the child learns that unit and wants to go to higher level, the child can even go to higher level within a concept.
So for children, when they start using MindSpark, if they have got any problems which they are not able to solve in that maybe grade 4, so MindSpark will help them to rectify the problem. They do not need to be scared that they have answered incorrectly. They should be feeling good. MindSpark is going to help them to defeat any challenge in mathematics because it will teach them the way every child learns, not just one single way that a video teaches. Is that what you are saying, ma'am?
Exactly. There's another thing. Normally in classroom, when we ask them questions, children are scared whether they are right, wrong. They may not come up and tell in front of their peers. But since MindSpark is a one-to-one solution where they can give their feedback, that mental security is there with the child, that if I'm wrong, or it doesn't matter if I make a mistake. I can always learn from my mistakes.
So MindSpark does all this, ma'am?
Absolutely. It gives reinforcement. It says that doesn't matter if you're making mistakes. What is important is you complete a learning unit. You learn in the process.
I get that, but ma'am, how are you so certain that MindSpark does this?
In fact, MindSpark is a proven educational learning solution. If you can see on the screen, right? It is in a study conducted by MIT. MindSpark has proven to deliver better learning results. On an ongoing study, as of now as well, it shows improvement in learning levels of students who are doing maths with MindSpark when against the students who are not using MindSpark.
Does that mean
Yeah.
when a student does MindSpark, student improves mathematics. Can I say that very directly?
Yes, absolutely. In fact,
And-
it has been proved by Harvard. Harvard has written a case study on MindSpark. It is titled Improving Educational Outcomes in India. Case study
Oh.
which proves that there is an impact of learning.
I understand. I understand that. So we will check this, ma'am. You said that you are teaching the way MindSpark is teaching. So we're going to check how many students have understood when we conduct a quiz at the end of the session. The children,
Surely.
be prepared. Revise what ma'am has told, because we have a quiz at the end of the session.
And not only that, Anshuman, at present, more than 5,000 schools across 19 countries and over 10 lakh students are using MindSpark.
I get that now. I completely understand. MindSpark is a proven solution which is across the world, more than 10 lakh students, 20 years. I am sure each of us need to work with MindSpark. So is that all that makes MindSpark the learning tool? Or can you tell us some good things more about MindSpark?
Yeah, so let us put it in an order. MindSpark, the questions are been designed so that it can trigger critical thinking. Every question has an explanation so that children build conceptual clarity. It is aligned to the curriculum, CBSE, ICSE, state boards, IB, even Common Core curriculum and South African curriculum. Every child gets an instant feedback, whether right or wrong, which helps him or her to improve the learning levels. We were discussing about self-regulated learning, right?
Yes, yes.
Using MindSpark, students can set their own targets. They can
So no
develop
pressure. So no pressure. Students can set their weekly targets. So there is no pressure of, maths on the students. Very nice.
Correct. I can improve. Today I have 30 questions as my target. Tomorrow I can put 60 questions as my target. I can set my own target and move ahead. Not only that, in fact, even revision is personalized in MindSpark. Suppose I have done a topic in April. I want to revise it in July. MindSpark, the artificial intelligence automatically pops up revision for that student depending on the accuracy. And for parents, they have a report which highlights students' performances in each topic, each concept with actionable insights. I think all this makes it a complete package.
So it is kind of, individual teacher for an individual child, isn't that?
Yeah, it is one-to-one teaching. Even tuitions these days do not have one-to-one teaching, Anshuman. It's one-to-many.
Yes. And they are in a hurry. Every tuition teacher runs by the clock. Yeah. So MindSpark does not run by the clock. A student can take MindSpark as its own pace and learn better. So let's see, what does a student gets from MindSpark? A student would get right conceptual clarity from MindSpark. Each student will have their own personalized learning path and lots of fun and practice. You have so much to learn in MindSpark by doing practice, questions, worksheets, answers, everything. And you get a lot of Sparkies. So children, did you get Sparkies when you were doing MindSpark? You can raise your hands if you are getting Sparkies.
Did you get Sparkies when we were doing MindSpark? Raise your hands. Yeah, 10.
Yes. Lot of Sparkies. Very nice. And they are very good. And there are many games in MindSpark which will help you to learn. To understand, they are perfect solution for any child who wants to become better in maths. And once you do this, you get the power to overcome the fear of maths. So don't be scared. Don't have fear when MindSpark is here. Absolutely. So, what does a child have to do to use MindSpark, ma'am?
Every student gets a username and a unique password. The student can log in at any time and do MindSpark. Though there is no limit, but as teacher, I would recommend every day 30 to 40 minutes if a child is doing MindSpark or maths using MindSpark, then it builds that habit of doing MindSpark.
I get it. So we need to be regular in MindSpark. Just 30 minutes a day will make the foundation or concepts of maths very strong. So let's see, parents, what is that you get out of MindSpark? First thing is a weekly report with actionable. You get suggestions in monthly report from MindSpark. What all way the students can be helped? How can you help children? When we do this, you get a child who loves maths. You get a maths loving child. Child will start performing better in maths and start loving maths.
Anshuman, parents would like to know what is the price of MindSpark.
Sure. Let's see. So, if we have one pizza for 12 months, I can see some smiles on faces of children when they see pizza. Oh, yes, absolutely. Good smile. I love it. So, parents, these smiles for pizza, they are roughly 10,680 around a year when we have one pizza meal per month. Now, if we compare that price to MindSpark, for 12 months, it's only 6,740. A one-to-one maths teacher for your children in the form of technology and MindSpark. And the good news is, for all the parents, children, can you call your parents for a moment, please? If you've understood MindSpark, you can call your parents. For all the parents who are here on the call, MindSpark offers an exclusive discount of 40%. You use this promo code of MSpark and you get a 40% discount. So MindSpark comes to you at 4499, which is just 375 per month. So we'll come to this. How do we register for MindSpark? And children, it is time for quiz. Are you ready with your pen and papers? Let's get back to the quiz time and see what all have we understood. Please see this question on the screen and answer it. You will get a poll. Read the question very carefully. Read it.
I want you all to read this question and answer.
And answer. We will take 1 minute to answer these 3 questions. Please, parents, don't help as of now. Please don't help. Let children do it on their own. Children understand. Find out. Can you divide this figure into equal parts? And then check. Then check the red one, orange one. Then check. Divide it. If it is not divided, think how can you divide and then answer. Yes. Please try that. Don't just sit back. Use your pen and paper. Please try. Answer it. Once you have answered, please raise your hand on Zoom.
Yeah, we saw eight students have put their hands up. So Mehul is saying finished. Preeti is saying finished. Me too.
One more minute, children. Hurry up.
I see students sitting with pen and paper and solving.
Yes, you have to use. Maths is all about practice. Practice, more practice. It makes it permanent. Good, good, good. I see students finishing it and the poll is filling up.
Kavita is saying finished.
Yes. Are we done, children? Shall we move to the next question? Some children are taking more time. Okay, last 30 seconds. Answer quickly. Last 30 seconds. Answer quickly, children. Just remember the basic. Just remember the basic. Equal parts are important. Think of equal part. How can you divide it into equal part? Yes. So please, if you have a doubt, we'll answer all the doubts at the end. Don't worry. You can write your questions.
Meera is saying I finished.
Wonderful. Okay, so here we go. We go to the next question.
I'll read out the question, Anshuman.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a very interesting question, children. Look at your screen carefully. Anu, Farzana, and John each bought a cake of same size and same shape. The white part in the shape below is a part of cake each ate. Who ate 1/4 of their cake? So options are only Anu, only John, only Anu and John, and all of them. Please keep in mind that all three cakes are of same size and shape.
Be very careful when you look at the question, children. Once again, we go back to basics. Equal parts matter. And in fraction, equal parts matter. So if you are thinking answer is C, I'm telling you answer is not C. I'm giving you right away, answer is not C. Please answer the poll. Please answer using the poll.
Anshuman, are they not getting the poll? That's what they are writing on the chat.
Oh, okay. Please solve this question. It will take some time to get the poll. Please solve. You just wait. Just 60 seconds. Solve this question. In the meantime, let us discuss this previous question. While the poll comes in, let's discuss this previous question. Now here, what fraction is shaded in square shown figure 1? This is the shaded portion, which is one part, two. These three parts are unequal. But you can divide this part and make it equal. So the answer would be 1 upon 1, 2, 3, 4 parts.
4.
The answer would be B, 1/4. Now it is not 1/3. Remember, because this has to divide into equal parts. These three parts are unequal. What fraction is red in the circle shown in figure 2? Once again, we go back to the basic. We divide all the parts into this part, all these circles. So 1, 2, we divide it into 2. 3, 4, we divide it into 2. 5, 6, divide again. 7, 8. So the answer is option C. How many of you did option C?
Put your hands up.
Put your hands up on this. Great. Okay, so how many of you did not give answer C? Please raise your hands. Okay, very honest. I like the honesty. I like the honesty. Learn from your mistakes. We learn together. So we had equal number of children answering for A, for B and C, not C. And third question is, what fraction of the circle is red compared to green? Ma'am, can you explain this question, please? It's tough for me also.
So green, how many parts are there of green? Can student write on the chat box? 2. And red is 1. So it will be 1 by 2. Yeah, Ishan, absolutely. It is 1 by 2. Correct?
Wonderful. So now, let's go to the next question.
The poll has not come, Anshuman, so that's what they are.
Poll will come. Poll will come, ma'am. Now, please read this question again. Answer it. The poll will come.
Will
Please
not
check.
explain. Poll has come now. Let them answer.
Poll has come. Answer
Yeah.
fatafat. Okay, we have it there. So we have the answer here, and here the answer is option D. Let's see the polls. Oh, we do see a lot of improvement here, ma'am.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. We do see a lot of improvement here. So understand, children.
More than 50% students have answered it correctly.
Yes, yes. We see a lot of improvement here. So children, please understand, you follow the basics, you will learn. Now, we are going to see, so now do you understand how MindSpark teaches? Do you understand how MindSpark teaches? MindSpark teaches you like an individual teacher. And now we are going to find out how can you go ahead and register for MindSpark. Are you ready, kids, to register for MindSpark? Are you ready, kids? Let's go. Go to mindspark.in. And there you click on purchase MindSpark. Parents, since we have to renew the subscription, we click on this part. Here you have to write your username. I write this username. I click to validate. There we have two options. So we select the 12 months and put the promo code, which was MSpark. We apply the promo code. Please don't forget to apply the promo code. Once you apply, this becomes with a 40% discount. Click on renew subscription. It will ask you to confirm the payment details. You click to pay, and then using any option you can pay.
We request parents to be there on the call.
We would request the parents to be on call. Okay, so coming back now to whatever questions parents have, please ask. You can put it on the chat. We'll try to answer them one by one. Please put your questions on chat, parents.
How many hours session daily?
So 30 minutes is daily, which a child should do, which is minimum. A child can do it more hours also. No problems. You can ask your father to write back to us on this email ID or call this number. Please note down this email ID for any later questions. Yes, please write. Please write. Parents need to make sure, I see a question there is what support parent needs to do. Parents need to make sure that they basically get the children doing MindSpark for 30 minutes, point one. Point two, please read the reports carefully. It may ask certain suggestions for you to implement. So increase the time by 15 minutes. It may even ask you to make your child repeat a certain concept. That will ask. The question is, how can we get username and password for MindSpark? Ma'am, you can write to us on this email ID if you don't have. Else, you can go ahead and register for MindSpark. You would have registered for MindSpark, I'm sure. Please write to this email ID with the details of your mobile number and your name. We will send the user ID and password to you. Any other questions, please ask. Thank you for appreciating this session. Yes, you can go to tuitions every day, but MindSpark will help you not to go tuitions. Maybe it improves you without tuition also, but if you're going, please go. Does it follow a schedule for learning? Absolutely, it follows a schedule for learning. The recommended schedule is whatever you are learning in school or whatever be the index of the book, please follow that. That is more than enough. No, you don't need to give a username. What if a child stumbles upon a problem which, good question. What if a child stumbles upon a problem which is beyond her capacity? Now the capacity of a child is of a grade could be anything. But if a child is unable to understand, MindSpark will take it to the remedials, will show certain videos which will help her to understand, will tell her certain stories, make her do the same concept in 10 different ways until she understands, and then bring her back to the original level. So MindSpark will try, and 96% of cases, MindSpark is able to resolve the children's problem and help them to answer the questions which initially were beyond their capacity. There was a website has been told in the MindSpark session is we can directly go to the login screen. Okay. But you can purchase on the MindSpark website itself. Nisha Panu, please write to us. I'm unable to understand the question. Please write to us on this email ID. Oops, somebody says my mom understood. I hope you also understood maths, not just your mom.
Will it be an online teacher teaching on an interactive robot or an interactive robot?
It would be an interactive session. We don't employ robots yet, but yes, it would be an interactive session. It's a software which teaches maths to the children. Yes, the promo code is MSPARK. Ishan, please note it. MSPARK is the promo code. So we would close the session in next 3 minutes. Please put in whatever questions you have. If we are unable to answer your questions, so promo code is valid for next 3 days. Promo code is valid. So please send your questions. If we are unable to answer on this email ID, we'll answer those questions. Yes, ma'am, the feedback form would be given right away. We would request you to kindly answer the feedback form, which will help us to make our teaching learning better and which would help us to improve upon ourselves. So promo code is M Spark. So I'll go to the page where we have got promo code. Here is the promo code. So do you receive any certificate? So this is a kind of study. Yes, when you complete it fully, you should, depending upon your performance, you can get a certificate monthly also. You can get a certificate annual also. You can become a champion of the entire nation if you are doing really well. You are welcome, Amber. So the payment can be done online. The link has been shared on WhatsApp group also. Yes, you get a feedback. Every day you get the feedback of MindSpark. Whatever you do get a feedback.
You get feedback for every question, Nishan.
Every question, you get a feedback. You learn from every question. That is the link for the feedback. Okay, children, have a good night. Thank you very much for connecting with us. For any questions, please write to us on that email. And remember, the promo code is MSPARK. Have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, everybody.